Hey, soul survivors, good to have you here. Let me know how your day is going. I just switched it to live chat. Ooh, I already got a thumbs up. Thank you for that. So, we are going to talk about why the narcissist chooses to lie instead of just tell the truth. I had a great comment from a viewer uh, who had said, it's so much easier just to tell the truth. And technically it is, but not for the narcissist. The narcissist finds that extremely difficult. And we can talk about why. And please give this a thumbs up to help with the algorithm, get this chat started. But the narcissist, they do not at any cost want to take accountability. They do not want to feel any shame. They already have so much shame within them. So when we try to just communicate in a normal sense, even just a common conversation like, "Hey, did you pick the kids up?" or "Are you going to be able to?" We're just trying to communicate. Sorry, I got a hair somewhere. And do you mind rearranging your schedule or whatever we ask them? They take it as a personal attack and they go on the defense. So they're going to attack back. And we're like, oh my gosh. Also, they just want to do what they want to do and they don't want anybody telling them what they can do. So, they're going to make up stories. And a lot of times those stories don't hold any water. So it gets even more frustrating. Then you try to talk to them. Normally, how we were brought up, you get caught in the lie, you're busted, and you just kind of admit to it and apologize. But they continue on with even more lies. So we're already frustrated about the lies and they continue on with more lies. So it's this never ending cycle that is extremely toxic. And the part that makes it so devastating is that the lies that they tell will be to your detriment. They're not just silly little lies like, oh, I was going to get dressed up today, but I didn't. And does it matter if I got dressed up today? It doesn't. But if it's something that's to your detriment, uh, it can cause foreclosures on houses, sexually transmitted diseases, just a whole bunch of stuff that can happen. And Calibri is here. Good evening, everyone. And the little Dutch girl gets her little tulip. Thank you so much. I love the sunflowers too. How's it going with you? How's the soap opera? I wanna I want to start doing all these different little characters like little soap operas. I've been brainstorming on character situations, make like a little narcissist soap opera. So sometimes seeing it can kind of help people spot red flags because some narcissists are so sneaky on the way that they do things. And it's real hard to spot them sometimes because they are so good at the lies that they tell. And also it takes time to uncover. Look at detectives, police detectives, how much they have to go through. And it'd be a lot easier if the criminal's like, yeah, I did it, I'm sorry. But it doesn't happen that way. And they hide things for a reason. Is it the right reason? It's for selfish reasons. They just don't want people, they don't wanna have their life changed. So Calibri says, "Oh, I've seen the male narc this afternoon. I think his female partner, who has access to cameras around the building, tips him where I am." Oh, that's right, she does. And you just ignored him. Good. And Lily is here. Hi, Lily. How have you been? Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, they're sitting on my counter. I bought 2 wireless microphones and they don't work. I used it for like a day and a half and then they cut out. And then I was teaching online and they cut out. And then I did a couple YouTube videos, had to completely redo it. So I just said, screw it. Contacted the company. I can already tell they're not going to refund my money, even though they promised. So click, 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 click. I'll try not to click, but this is the second time I've tried to get wireless um, microphones. Lily says they love you, Calibri, and are envious and jealous of you. Yeah, there's something about you that they're attracted to, whether it's your style or, how are you able to get that nice new car that you're going to donate to me? Something about you, or they're just intrigued by your lifestyle. I don't know, but it's weird. It's a lot of times I feel sometimes threatened. Like you might get more attention or you might be smart enough to see through who they are. So they're keeping an eagle's eye on you to make sure they don't get told on because they might be doing things that they shouldn't. And Lily says narcs just want to rattle cages of people who have their shit together. That's true. That's true, they get jealous of that, and, it's kinda irritating to them, that you're above them, you achieved whatever, and then they'll start saying, you were either privileged or, they take away the fact that you earned whatever it is you earned, whether you went to college or not, you still earned it, and Dog Defender says, "Hit that thumbs up." Yeah, let's get this ball rolling. The more you guys let YouTube know that I'm here, the longer I'll stay. How's that? So yeah, just ignore them. It's not worth interacting. And Dog says, please hit the thumbs up. Did I accidentally? No, I did actually. Let me read that again, but it doesn't hurt. Calibri says, and two of his flying monkeys accidentally are in front of me when I came out of the elevator. I also ignored them. I'll tell you what, I live in a complex and I almost never run into people. Um, but Dog Defender is saying hi to everyone. Debbie is here. Debbie, how's it going? Where are we at today? We sticking to our guns, and if not, it's okay. Let us know. But I think it's good to stick to it. Lily says, "Oh, you like my sweater? Yeah, it's a little. That's what I'm wearing today. I got little holes. There you go. You see my little holy legs, and then my little half sweater with a tank top. I always wear tank tops, and never walk on your furniture." So funny, I do that at school. I sit on tables and the kids are like, "We're not allowed to do that." But thank you. Yes, it is a sweater. Lily says, "Dog and Debbie, hello, hello." Dog says, "Cynthia, have you thought about doing a poll?" Yep. I don't know what to ask. I do need to do a poll, even on the days and times and things like that. Guys got to participate to help me out with that because this channel is for you guys. I enjoy doing it, but it is for you, me as well. But it is to help. So thank you, Lily. I'll have to sew up those little holes. Dog says the tan is awesome. Oh, thank you. Dog says, "I wish I had stayed out of the sun." And yeah, we got to be careful. I'm a burn victim, you guys know, but yeah, my skin, I used to get terribly burnt. And it was like my skin growing up was like a baby skin. I had to wear hats and all that stuff. But sun can damage you. Skin cancer is prevalent in my family, so I do have to watch it. I used to go to the tanning salon all the time, but you guys are great. Look at all those thumbs up. So, Debbie, Lily's saying day 44. Where is it? 43? What day is today? 43 or 44? Um, so yeah, stay healthy. And that's the thing, we're going to look back and say, I wish I started this healing journey earlier, because we do get stuck. There comes to a point in our lives and it'll happen where you're like, I'm just so over this. I need to start living again. And it's like, it happens. It definitely happens. Kalibi says having some air fried broccoli seasoned with truffle parmesan with black garlic. They taste pretty good. That sounds good. Nice and healthy too. Hmm. I have to go grocery shopping tomorrow, so we'll huh. That sounds good. I'm cooking Easter dinner, so got to get that ready too. Dog says, I think you may choose your best days, then maybe poll us on which of those we prefer or can commit to. Yeah, because it does get difficult doing every day. So we're gonna kind of whittle it down and have something to look forward to. Lily says, I read the sun causes more wrinkles than aging. And it is true. Unfortunately, it is true. It is true. Stay hydrated and you know, it also causes if you see skin under kind of like a mic oh, I don't even know what type of imaging, skin imaging, that you'll see the damage. I don't know if they use a black light or whatever, but it's definitely pronounced. You can see where the damage is done. I have some damage on my face and like my chest too that wouldn't be there if I didn't tan like I used to. That sounds delicious, Calibri. So that's a good idea, Dog. Thank you for that. I will start doing polls. Probably not tonight, but tomorrow. Where's my man? I do have it. Good. Um, So yeah, dog is saying that sounds good. So I'll do a poll. Yes, it's day 44. I had to go look. I don't miss that creature at all. Debbie, congratulations. We'll give her a little smiley face. Can you see it? There's your smiley face for doing a great job. Would you like a check plus plus? We do check plus pluses here. and so yeah, good job on that one. And poll. I'll just write that. So I hope that made your day. Dog Defender retracted. Uh-oh. And it definitely does. It definitely does. Black garlic. Never heard of that. Yeah, actually, duh. I haven't either. What is black garlic? So Lily, yeah, you were right. Again. Kalibi says, goodness to the convenience of Costco. Good prices and triple wash. Large bag too. Do you have to grind it? Are they little peppercorns or is it actual ground already? Dog says the dermatologist show you your skin. I'm covered in it. My parents never thought about sunscreen. Yeah, so we got to be careful on that. How about a sticker? All right, let's see if I can give you a sticker. Um, I don't know. Let's see. I'll give you. I'm so new to this stuff. Let us go. I go to the dollar store tomorrow. How's that? Let's see. What would be special? Because yeah, you do deserve. Oh my gosh, I have the hardest time scrolling. I do have my oh, I hope you guys are still there. I have my mouse. Uh-oh, where'd you guys go? Hopefully you can still hear me. There we go. So let's see. I can't find the appropriate one quick enough. And my eyesight's not the best. How about this one? I'll give you this one. You deserve that. You deserve some love too. So good. I'm glad you guys are there. One little thing and everything just shuts down and I got all these things open. So congratulations. And there's your sticker girlfriend. Dog's joining in too. And you are an A+ student. Greetings, Basil. Haven't seen you in a little bit. How have you been? You've been sick for the past week. Swine flu. Ooh. So you probably felt super crummy. Or COVID. Yeah. You doing better now? Because yeah, that's no fun. I had a sore throat. Thought it was strep. Maybe it was, or I don't know, but being sick sucks. But yeah, swine flu and COVID, I think that's worse. Still tired. Yeah. And if it was COVID, I don't know much about the swine flu. I never had it. I know it's no fun. Um, but that tiredness can linger for a while. So you're not crazy. That's just part of the healing process. So good to have you here, though. Thanks for joining us. Kalibi says they are fresh broccoli florets, ready to cook. Those sound good. Oh, that's what you're talking about. The big bag of it was. Okay, I thought you were talking about the pepper was in a big bag. I get it. That makes sense. And I like the florets the best. That was my favorite. Broccoli and cheese growing up. That was my favorite. Sometimes I'll have that just for dinner. I have so much of it. Um, don't order it or buy it all that often with cheese. I usually just get the regular, but yeah, what was it? Green Giant. My parents used to always buy that. And there's also a teriyaki vegetable they have that I like. So a big hug from Dog Defender. And Dog says, oh no, Basil, I'm so sorry. I hope you are getting what you need. Yes, we all do. Make sure you drink lots of fluids. And wait a minute, Basil, truffle, saffron, salmon, steak, all fancy foods. They're so fancy. I don't even know what saffron is. I'm so sheltered. I know what hot dogs and hamburgers and tacos are. So Debbie said, "Oh, a nice little smile made you smile." Kalibi says, "Hi, Lily, Dog Defender and Basil." Lily says, "Hi to Basil. Me too. Sick for a week, but still not 100%. Throat still sore. Probably COVID, but didn't test." I had COVID twice. Didn't really have that big of a sore throat, but COVID's a crazy one. There's all different kinds of symptoms, and it's almost like tailor made to each person that they're uh could be a sore throat too, because you get your nose and all that stuff. Dog says I had H1N1 like a decade ago. It was rough, but lasted about 7 to 10 days. I never got that either. I was pretty lucky. That was um is that also known as a bird flu? Is that the same thing? You need to get an air fryer. I need to get broccoli and, I had an air fryer and it died. It didn't last all that long. It just got stuck on cook. So I got scared and threw it out. But it was nice having one. Basil says, "Dog, I've improved now. Reminded me of the time I got the worst flu that lasted for a month, but this one's less severe." Oh, can't imagine. That's terrible. Do I want I love cheese. Yes, let's talk about the cheese. Aged cheese are fancy as well. American cheese is fancy. Cheese is delicious. Oh, and how about some pork and cheese? Look at that. Make a big, ham and cheese sandwich. That's cute, Basil. Kalibi says, "I guess my cooking lessons paid off by preparing my meals as I like them." Yeah, I have you guys ever seen that lady? First, I'll let you comment with a yes or a no. Have you guys seen that lady? Everybody's so creative. Where she's watching other people do, cooking classes or cooking skits, and she just, like, makes a mess of it. She's like, "Oh, just" so let me know if you've heard of that Everybody's So Creative lady, and then I'll tell you what I plan on doing. How many classes oh, I own so many. I own so many, probably 25. They're the cheapies, though. Well, these were probably 25 bucks, but the other ones, I probably have 4 or 5 ones that cost money, and then the other ones are like at the dollar store where they're like $1.25. So I have lots of glasses, 5 real pairs, but not as real as like needing like your $200 ones. So 20, 25 bucks. Those are mostly for my sister, but the other ones are just dollar store. So, and I have a lot of repeats too. So I got every color. Um, yeah. I will hoard glasses because I don't like not being able to see. And I have 5 pairs at school. There's also 5 pairs at school because I like put them on my head and then I have them around my neck and then I forget. And so I put them in my drawer. A lot of my glasses are at school right now too. Reaction videos. And what I want to do, it's kind of like I haven't put it all together, but I'm going to do my own schlop kind of cooking class and relate it to like the narcissist cooking, like, you know, 2 cups of bullshit and I'll put like pudding in it. So I want to see how it's going to put together. I'm still brainstorming on that and like noodles for brain and um, lettuce was for something like let us, but it's lettuce. So trying to do like a little creative spin on it, which is going to be a waste of money because I'm not going to eat it. But um, poor goose. Goose is a luxury. Um, what was it? No, I had duck. I had duck. My ex used to not tell me what was in the food. And the duck was actually okay. It was greasy. It did taste quite a bit like chicken, just greasier. And I would assume goose would probably taste something like that. I don't know. Um, when I was in China, I didn't see um, anybody getting goose, but I wouldn't doubt it. They had everything, everything. They eat scorpions out there. And some of it, every little body part. They will eat toes and claws and bone marrow and just everything. And depends on where you go. There's certain places that I really like the food, and others I didn't. But they do try it. It all looks good. It's just not the stuff I like. So, dog says, "I'm happy to hear that, Basil. I hope you continue to improve. Having the flu sucks. It definitely does." So, yep, reaction videos. And you haven't heard a creative lady. Yeah, she does such a good, like, I love her. I love her. It ain't cheesy if or it ain't, what does she say? Something like it doesn't go down easy if it ain't cheesy, but she just has a really cool way spinning like these really crappy looking meals, and you can tell she's not. She just does, and it's her voice that I really like. Her voice is really kind of cool. She gets all excited. It's like what? So, uh, are these? I think are blue light glasses. These seem to have a big glare though, so I'm not crazy about how they look on screen. But yes, these are blue light glasses. I have a, um, and I wish I knew her name. I'm gonna have to look up her name, but probably even if you write, everybody's so creative, and you'll start seeing it across other people commenting on other things, and that's what that's about. You had hyperthyroidism before, and it's better now? That would be nice if it's better now. Dog says, "I have dollar store glasses in every room, car, garage, garden bag. I only have 1 pair of prescription." Yeah, and my prescription would just be what I can still get at the dollar store, so, if I needed it for driving or, all day long, I'd probably get a prescription, but I don't need to read well, I guess I do read a lot, more than I realize. Dog says, "Basil, have Cynthia connect us. I have videos." Yeah. Somehow we should be able to do that. I think I might be sorry guys, I'm starting to get hot again. I turn my heat up, then turn it down, and I'm so indecisive. One sec. Ah, okay. That's why I almost always wear a tank top, but I have to be careful. Sometimes I forget that I'm not wearing a tank top. You had that dental floss in every purse, glove box, every bathroom, every kitchen junk drawer. Yeah, I feel you, girl. I'm like that too. Oh, Thursday. Duck are usually sold at at Costco for your Dunkin', your chicken, turkey, and chicken, duck, and turkey. Turducken. Um, Sold at Costco. They are coming from Canada. They are good duck orange. Yeah, orange duck. Hmm. And that's like duck with orange. Lily says, "I got laser corrective and can see like an eagle close and far. Wore contacts for years." My sister did that. I don't know. That scares me. But you hear a lot of success out of that. So Amazon has good blue light glasses. I want to get my clear ones back. I like the clear ones, but I broke them. Dog says, "I'm sorry to be that person, but can you please use a trigger warning before talking about animals in that form? I'm unable to get images out of my head. I had to mute for my mental health." Um, okay, yeah, she's sensitive to that, so we will be cautious on that as much as we can. So let's just remember that dog is sensitive to um, mainly more like the domestic animals being used in that way. So we will respect that. So dog says, "Please hold hand up when animal death is not a topic." You're good. You're good. So I read it. Um, and that's the thing, set up some boundaries, let people know what you're feeling, and we need to be empathetic towards that because it's not something that we need to talk about. So thank you for sharing that. That's good communication, and we're sorry about that. Debbie says, "I just read something a while ago from Quora, and it was reality slapping me in the face. It was about how narcs play us. It hurt." Was there something in particular that stood out? Because it feels like a slap in the face the way that they treat us. And I'd like to go into it more if you are willing to share about it. Lily says, "I don't like that either, dog." And you saved a lizard just a few minutes ago in the bathroom. Put it in a plastic cup and paper underneath it and put them outside. Yes, set those creatures free. Dog says, "Debbie, absolutely harmful." And it is true. They play anyone willing. And the amount that they will play people, they will take somebody's last dime. They will manipulate you into things. Like they could even do something if, offer you a ride on a house to put a bid on a house, and then they purposely go buy it. They'll buy things out from under you, and they purposely do it so they can, oh, the car broke down, whatever it is. Um, it's really sad, and how they do people. They just feel that they're entitled to it. Um, Dog says, "Lily, I found if I don't speak up, I leave a conversation feeling very sick to my stomach and so sad." So yeah, it's good. It's good to let us know. Lily says, "Just go to a good ophthalmologist." I was nervous as hell, but it's great. You have to keep your eyes open during it, don't you? Oh. Just like put me to sleep and then I'll dog says, "Thank you. I'm scared, Lily." Yes, save them all. Yeah. I'm scared of eye surgery too. Libby says, "So how do we get rid of a narc? A plastic garbage bag is too small. Buy the large ones." Um, a lot of it is just you got to kind of ignore them, or if you need to, personal protection orders. We know personal protection orders don't always work because the narc likes to do what they like to do. But when you don't entertain them, if you don't emotionally react, um, and the thing too is let them know what's up. And I think that's important. A lot of people are like, just cut them out of your life. But you have to say, look, I am not willing to interact, as opposed to them trying and trying and trying and trying, and just be consistent. I'm not willing to interact. Conversation's over. I'm leaving now. Um, they keep trying to chase after you. Conversation's over. And just be really, I talk. Oh, hefties are cheaper, guys. Um, So, in all honesty, how do we get rid of them? We just don't give them the supply, but we gotta be really cautious because it's that crazy balance. But if they're after you for money, cut off what the supply is. If they're after you for money and you're not giving them money, they'll unfortunately, but they will get it from somebody else. If they're after you for sex, then don't give it to them. They're gonna eventually go find somebody else, but it's that little cusp of that entitlement where they're gonna make your life hell. They sedate you, I know, but you're still awake. I know. Are you is that Twilight? I had wisdom teeth out on the Twilight, and I don't remember, and I remember right at the end, so it was like I was asleep. Is it like that where you feel like you're completely asleep? And I'm sorry, guys, about this glare. That's the other thing I hate about having to wear glasses. Um, Dog says they will take everything you own and prevent you from ever getting anything back. Narcs. They are the secondhand smoke of mental health. I've never heard it put that way, but yeah. Um, yeah. Dog, you're so funny with that body bag. She's like, "Don't kill bugs, but narcs." Just teasing you. I love you. Debbie says it said how they love bombing the fuck out of you to just to discard you. Those were the exact words. How they don't care and they want you to beg them to come back. And some of it is the dynamics of the relationship because I have a deeper, different insight on that. Um, the love bombing is to get caught up in the moment. And sometimes they do think about keeping you. But when they realize you're a real person with needs, that's when they discard you. And sometimes the hard truth is sometimes it is just to kick it. They don't care. They don't plan on ever seeing you again. Um, and then others will promise you the world. Of course, I'll marry you. Or, I want to wait too, but it's just you're so beautiful. And, if you really loved me or whatever the heck they do. Um, and sometimes we got to be careful on, you know, not breaking our boundaries just to accommodate somebody. And they can try to get you drunk. And as far as the discard, they don't always latch on to you to discard you. So we have to remember that. It's not always because they intend to discard you. Just like, some people when they take a job, they can plan on being there forever. You have your in between jobs where you're like, look, I just got to work at the gas station so I can get gas money and food money. But intentions can vary just like that, or a job like this is going to be my dream job. I want it forever. And then a better opportunity comes up. Sometimes since they haven't experienced that opportunity, it might have been the worst decision or the best decision in their life. Time will tell. That company could crash, and then they're just going to go right back to what works for them. And they do that with love too. That they don't always know. Is this new supply, like that new company, is it going to crash? Do they really know what is expected of them? And they just took this new job, this new supply, and life isn't always greener on the other side. And but it's not always intentional. I did a video today because that's something that's very important to understand. We are targets, but it's not always to intentionally harm us. And um, so there are some ads that are coming up. So hang in there with me, guys. I just see a little notification. So hang in there. And I'm going to try to see how I get this emoji off. So I don't want you guys to miss anything, but uh, maybe you guys can type. How do I how do I get rid of this emoji? Oh, maybe down here. No, there we go. Now I got my full screen. So uh, let me go. You're in. Oh, you okay? I'm in La La Land as far as eye surgery. Okay, cool. Let me catch up. So you just ignore them there. Try a hat. There you go. It's not me. Just like ignoring little kids, let them play their silly games. That's true too. You think about it. There are times when you're like, look, you got to stop this. They're damaging your property, but um, set boundaries too. Like, I got this little neighborhood girl who she's starting to stop by a lot, and I'm kind of a workaholic. Whether it's like this week is my spring break, I'd like to get my house in order, try to see if I get the mortgage that I'm hoping for, and maybe look for housing, and then clear out some. Like, I got a lot of stuff I want to do, and so she wants to hang out, and so she's stopping by a lot for just even the ice cream and candy, and I'm like, last 2 days I told her, you know, um, "Come back on Sunday, 'cause, I'm cool, but I think she wants to hang out for ice cream." We have to remember why people wanna hang out with us too. Um, and so being in La La Land for eye surgery, I remember a tiny bit light in my eye, but it was euphoric feeling. Maybe I'll just get eye surgery anyways. Who wants to have an eye surgery party? Dog says humans are capable of evil. Animals are primitive and domesticated, often more so than narcs. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because like my dog, when I get sad, will come up and give me a hug. It's weird. She'll actually like put and oh, it's so sweet. It's so sweet. Or she'll snuggle with me. It was really weird when I had COVID. Before I knew I had COVID, she was um, leaning into me in a very odd way. I think she was diagnosing me. It's the only time in my life she's ever done it that way. Um, it's very interesting, and they can sense those kind of things, so I think she knew something was very wrong, and she was super by my side. Um, yeah, and you think if animals can get along, they do attack each other, though. Debbie says, "I refuse to beg him. He's kinda gone now, so bye-bye, narc face." Ooh, you're pulling out the narc face words. I'm gonna have to call your mom. I love it with the kids where, they're like, "They said the S word. They said stupid." It's like, you gotta react like, "Oh, so you said narc face, Debbie." Kalibi says, "Yes, they are little kids in adult meat suits." I forgot. These critters thinking are that of 2-year-old toddlers. And that's where it gets hard. I told you my cousin that passed away from COVID, age 30, he had that Superman syndrome, the XYY, but he actually had XXYY. So, he was like 6'11", and so he was a very big young boy. And like at 4 years old, people thought he was 12. And they expected him to act like a 12-year-old. And that was so difficult for him because he was not 12. He just wanted to be him and act. And, he was a good kid, but, he wasn't a 12-year-old. And so when we're talking with our narcissist, you know, um, it doesn't work because it's like that mind fuck. Like if you saw my cousin, it is a mind fuck. You're like, I have to say Baba. Not that- Don't teach kids Baba. Say bottle. Um, but you know, it's also confusing for them, like, why are they talking? Why are they getting mad? If you're like, "I need you to, enlist this," or whatever, using words that they don't know, but you would think like a 12-year-old would know that, but they're all confused, like, "What are you talking about?" Now, vocabulary narcs know vocabulary, but as an example, like, the communication isn't there, the frustration builds, plus the not the Oh, so weird. Their emotional capacity lacks, their intelligence can soar though, but just the frustrations that they get, how do they handle it, you know? So I hope that came out the wrong way. I think it's a little twisted on how I had that come out, but just give me a check plus. I don't need the extra plus on that one. Kalibi says, yes, they are little kids. You're right. And Dog says, a friend once told me they play stupid games and win stupid prizes. There you go, Dog. I got to call your mom using the S word. um, they do. Yeah. Yeah. Hiding things or, um, I know a lot of times too, they'll mess with your food purposely. And it could be just something like putting salt in it. It's not necessarily like fecal material or something. Or they try to manipulate your weight by putting in butter or I know my ex gave me I at that time, I don't drink it anymore, but I like Diet Coke, and he gave me caffeine-free Diet Coke, so it tastes the same. I'm not super picky on Diet Pepsi or colas, but, like, "Man, I just got a bad headache today," and he started laughing. He's like, "Well, it was caffeine-free," and, he could tell me that, but it was like he was honest. He did tell me, "Well, I gave you caffeine-free, but, sometimes they're like, whatever, it's pop. She asked for pop. It might not go through his head, but just that little smirk. He got a little pleasure out of the fact I got a headache out of it. I could have had, maybe a cup of coffee to start the day instead. But that shows you I drank too much caffeine. But just a smirk. I would have been like, oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you, or I should have told you. So that's another way that they take pleasure in your pain, little things like that. Kalibi, yes, they are little kids. I'm sorry, I read that like 3 times. Maybe God is trying to tell us something with that. Lee says at the beginning when anesthesiologist, good spelling, was starting, I was so nervous, and he said tachycardia, which is increased heart rate, which is You're just like me, Lily. Let's teach them, which is fast heartbeat. You're right. So maybe they gave me something more like Ativan or whatever, but was great, no pain. Yeah, could be. Could be. Maybe they give you a little something different or something more or something to change it. Um, and the adrenaline we get too gives us a faster heartbeat. So, Dog says, but did they really love, truly deeply love, they would not do any of those things they do. The reason they don't show us who they are in the beginning is because they know it's wrong. And I agree with that. Human nature is crazy. Where did you see Dixie? Or was it something I said earlier? Little Dixie do. She's a sweetie. Um, but, and this is where it gets tricky. We're like, I know, but that one time, I yelled at my friend and I shouldn't have. I yelled at her because I was getting frustrated or she wasn't seeing my point or whatever it is. We've all had things that we failed on. So sometimes we give a little more slack than we should um, because there's a difference between true intentions, kind intentions, mistakes, and things being done on purpose. And, there's times you're like, don't do that, don't do that again. And they keep doing it. They project things onto you, they confuse you. She died 26 years ago. And I'm sorry for that. So big hugs to you, Debbie. It is hard. I just lost my father uh, recently and also my grandfather. So, you know, sometimes too in the coping, it gets hard where, you have to focus on the blessing that you had. I was just thinking about my dad before I logged in on this channel. Um, they're a part of us, and I look back how blessed I was. And I do need to do some stuff on narcissistic parents. I know some people on the channel are suffering with that. Um, how to recognize it. And also how to deal with it. And then narcissistic children. But the thing with narcissistic children is they can't really be diagnosed until a later age. And what's crazy is, um, narcissism, NPD, can't be diagnosed unless it's causes distress in the narcissist's life. It doesn't matter how much distress it causes in other people's lives. Can I put a note out that says I'm working from home and super busy? Please take this sucker or candy or sticker so I'm happy to come by, or offer her a job to help you. Yeah, I don't mind hanging out with her. Today I was stuck on my computer teaching, and I had a feeling it was her, and she came back by. And so I literally just had just enough time if she wants to come in and grab a snack and go, which it's okay. I don't mean being an extra grandma, but you know, I also don't want to encourage too much sweets. If she wants to hang out with me, take a little candy, but she likes to take like 5 or 6 candies and ice cream. So that's my part too. I gotta say, you can have one piece. I can limit it that way too. But that's hard on me too. Is that narcissistic? Is that sometimes we relate to it. Like I just wanted that. Yeah, so it's hard. Um, but yeah, I will, I told her I'll go roller skating with her as soon as gets warmer. So I plan on spending time with her this summer, like to go get my exercise. She'll be my roller skating buddy. She comes over when she's out skating. So let me scroll down, catch you guys up, and don't go too fast. Good. Dog says, I'm lost. Wait, why does it matter what to teach your baby? Debbie, what are you saying? Who died? Her I'm sorry, her mother. I think it was she the one that says stupid and I said, I'm going to call you mom? Is that what, I think that's what she's talking about when I said, I'm going to call you mom. So sorry for that if I had a soft spot. I don't see the teacher baby thing. I don't know if that's, uh, let me know what you mean by that. Why does it matter what to teach your baby? Is that directed to me or to Debbie? I know the second part was. So let me get this. Oh, dark triad. I'll get there. Let me catch up. Dog says, those are not my words. That is a quote I'm repeating. I don't know what that's in reference, if it's to me or somebody else. So I would like to address that, but I don't know if it's a text message. I don't know. Let me know. Kalibi says, so what should we look for in dark triad narcs? I don't mean to switch gears. No, that's fine. But I feel we need a refresher course on this. Dark triad. You got your psychopath, psychopathy, Machiavellianism, and narcissism. So we know pretty much what narcissism is. And the dark triad, the psychopathy is extreme zero empathy. So it's an even more intense. And the Machiavellianism is like the grandiosity and the entitlement, and it's just extreme. So think of a narcissist times 10. That, some narcissists are like, man, you know, and I know she's got to get the kids to bed, but I want to have sex. And they just focus on that, and they'll, just throw the kids in bed and just do whatever with you. Um, where there's at least a thought process, like I should let the kids get a good night story. They at least have a little thought process, as opposed to fuck you, throw the kids physically into the bed and take advantage, even if you say no. Where there's zero empathy and not even, it can get extreme. Um, so the dark triad is pretty much the same, but to the extreme. And a lot of times we make excuses for the people. you know um it's hard. Sometimes you might see it's weird, as kids too. You see little tendencies that can kind of predict what they will be in later years. Kids that do certain things can end up being pyromaniacs, and uh you know it's seen in the childhood, and it's really interesting. So just like seeing what they say about things that they have done, even sometimes little jokes like, oh man, I'd burn that place down and I'd make sure so and so was in it. It's like you just took that thought process like 2 steps further than I would. And usually, they say sarcasm is 90% truth, 10% like sarcasm. Um, Little things like that. They're kind of telling you who they are or the way their mind operates. And Dog says, Dark Triad is a very complex subject. I always study it and still learn more each time. Yeah, they are so inconsiderate. You're right. Look at Dog. Here's my sorry face. Um, so no, you guys are always. I like answering the questions that you need. Lily says, like you should have known it was the caffeine free. Yeah, because we never bought it. We never bought caffeine free. And can we aw, Dixie hug you? Yeah. So can we see Dixie? Oh, can you see? Pop up. Come here, honey. She's got arthritis. So Pops, Dixie. Come on. Up. She's so lazy right now. Come here, honey. Honey. Come on. Aw, come here. Yeah. Okay, come here. It's good. Oh, there's a Dixie do. Yeah, you're so good. Yeah, thank you. Okay, she's not gonna hug me. It's too uncomfortable in this position, but there's Dixie do. You agree, Dog Defender, but discussing it somehow sheds some light in some gray areas. There's a difference between best foot forward and their behaviors. That is true. So let's say I love you to Dixie. Look at the pup pup. Who is that? Hello. Okay, let me let her down gentle. Okay, there you go. Um, so you say, let me get it out of the way. Hold on. I agree. I was agreeing that I want to keep learning. Good. So a difference between best foot forward and their behaviors. Yeah, there's times we make mistakes, but as long as we're trying and stuff, but sometimes, um, yeah, they don't care. Today is the anniversary of losing my dad 3 years ago today. And I'm sorry about that. I know 2 days ago was my grandfather's 100th birthday. So he made it to 98 and a half. That was just 2 days ago. 3 years. I know sometimes it feels like just yesterday. Sometimes it feels like they're still here, that we kind of forget sometimes. And other times we feel that loss. I'm sorry, dog. Yeah, I got real lucky with my dad. I'm not sure what your relationship with your dad was, but I was very blessed. So hopefully you have good memories to look back on. Lots of love to you. Kalibi says every day that I watch videos on narcissism, I learn something new ways of discernment. You're right. What are some things that stuck out to you that were kind of stunning, shocking? Debbie says she was 89 and you can't live forever. My dad died in 74. So that's like 45 years ago. He was 70 at the time. And how old is the neighbor? Um, Let me know who you're talking about. Whose neighbor? Um, so yeah, so if he passed away in 74, um, I don't know how old you are. Did you have a lot of time with him? Because that makes it hard too. How old is the neighbor? I don't know which neighbor you're referring to. I don't know what I said. I got a couple neighbors, and it might not even be me. Um, Sorry. Sometimes I try to keep up. Dog says even if your relationship wasn't perfect, it is hard to lose a parent, and that's very true. That is very true. Um, I haven't been married yet. I'll never have my dad walk me down the aisle. That kind of. All right, you guys are making me sad. I love you guys. Um, Debbie says, "Oh yeah, I was 18 when my dad died. 3 years before, or 3 days before graduation. Yeah, gosh." I know they had this one where it was a homecoming queen, and the girl's mom died that day, and the one that got crowned gave it to the runner up and said, "No, you're going to have this crown." So that was really sweet. Some people out there are where they'll sacrifice. Debbie says there is no soft spot here. That's true. Dog says I live on, and I wish it was. I lived on candy as a child. I'm still fine today. I don't indulge my kids, the grandkids, but only because their parents only feed junk food. And so yeah, I get it. Junk food is not good. Um, Hold on one second. You guys are so patient with me. Um, that what you're Oh, well, Nana is just a different name, but, this is fine. I mean, if you guys do it, you can do it, but it will help them utilize the English, um words correctly, and instead of teaching them baby talk, have higher expectations because they can do it. And I've done it where we call them boogies when my daughter, we called pull-ups boogies. So I'm not being a hypocrite, I'm being honest. It's just um, better to teach them the actual words and use big words. That's how they learn big words instead of dumbing down your language, um, to raise it. So, you know, if you say baba, that's fine. I said baba instead of nana. But yeah, call nana because that's their name. But many children can't pronounce words, and I'm confused as to where you're coming from. Yeah, everybody's fine. Do what you want to do. That's just something in the educational thing, which can help. Raise those expectations. Kids are able to do a lot more and it will encourage them to learn that quicker. Um, so it's up to you guys how you do it, you know, but it does challenge them. And then they'll be quicker to be able to communicate with people who don't know them. Now, Baba is kind of universally accepted. Boogies, that's what I did. The only people who know what a boogie is her relatives. So was that smart that I did it? I thought it was cute. But you know, not being hypocritical, there's advice that, over the time you learn. So just sharing it. Clibby says just like that Alex guy, Alex Murdaugh, the lawyer who murdered his wife and son and tried to squiggle out of the crimes. He was shady. And yeah, thank you. Lily says she's so pretty and bashful, so cute. Thanks. Doesn't she warm your heart? There she is, just all passed out again. She's getting older. She's like 11. But yeah, he tried during the trial to gain credibility by admitting to some lies. And um which is worse, if I lie or if I murder someone? So he's like taking the lesser of the two evils, trying to build up his credibility, but he's still a liar. So he's going to lie about the murders. Kalibi says, we've been seeing a good amount of dark triad narcs committing crimes. The Alex lawyer, then the dentist in Colorado who poisoned his wife, and that guy who murdered those students in Idaho. Yeah. And that's why I don't know, it's hard because there's not a one-shot solution. There's everybody, nobody always takes things the same way, just like the kids at school. There are some things that work for certain kids, other things it'll trigger them. So it's really hard to make everybody happy, and we have pretty large population. Kalibi says I'm sorry. Lily, the neighbor that comes from for ice cream and candy. Oh, she's like 12. She's like 12. Um, I'm sorry. I, yeah, she's 12. Thank you for clarifying that. Sorry, I lost track of what that was. 12, about 12 years old. I used to be her teacher. I was her gym teacher, and I like spending time with her. But I'm trying to focus on me too, so I can give her a little bit. But I don't even hang out with my own like adult friends every day. So, um, Dog says, "I was just curious. I don't teach baby talk. I was just curious what you meant." Yeah, it's just, you're gonna get what you expect. You expect baby talk, you can get baby talk. You expect adult talk from a kid, that's what they're gonna learn. You wanna teach them Spanish, then, and English. You gotta teach them and expect it. Otherwise, they're gonna be like, I'll just say it in English. So it depends on what you expect. And we have to learn that too, which I didn't do, that we have to create clear boundaries and expectations with our person and let people know too. You have to let them know. Debbie says, I wanted a second chance at the narc so I could prove that it could be better than it was. he's never coming around. I know a lot of us want to do that, but the thing is it can be if both people want it, you know. Just like if I bake a cake, it's going to be better. I learned how to make a better recipe, but if my oven doesn't work, no matter how good that cake I mixed up, if the other part of the solution isn't working, you're not going to get your desired results. So you can do all you want, but this part's broken and it's not going to come together. I can fix the engine in my car, but if the steering wheel doesn't work or I can't turn it on, it's not going anywhere. So it has to all work in harmony, and both people need to want it. No, both people need to work on it, and that's where the problem comes in. And not give up. There's things that come up, but you have to believe in it too, and if they don't believe in it, and we got to be careful what we believe in too, is our little, oh, I hope it works out, I hope it works out. If we're in that state of mind, it's not going to work out, because we're going to get that little, oh, why didn't he call, now he hates me, and we're just going to act the wrong way. But I get it, Debbie. I get it. Dog says I allowed my kids to label things as they could and hope for the best. My kids luckily have an extensive vocabulary. Sometimes too, though. I mean, flip side, let them get creative. Um, yeah, you can let them get creative too. I used to create words, but it was secret code stuff. Kalibi says, what I am trying to point out is we should be more vigilant in observing actions, behavioral patterns of people around us, but not to the point of being paranoid. Yeah, and you're gonna go through a stage where you may be a little bit paranoid or a little hyper vigilant. And Douglas then says, "Uh-oh." Calibri, yes, 100%. Debbie says he had several hundred times I wasn't. Look at Doug. I get to girl. Debbie says he had several hundred times I wasn't what he was looking for. He said several hundred times. I said, I know, I'm not a slut. And that's the thing though. We talk about them lying, but right there, he was telling you. So they're liars, but they also are truth speakers. He meant that, and we got to take it where that's not a personal attack on us. We're just not the right fit, you know. Um you see Elvis got turned away 2 or 3 times by big record labels, basically saying he wasn't worth it to take on. And then he turned out to be the king of pop. So just because one person doesn't like you doesn't mean that another person doesn't see your potential. And we have to listen when people say that. We have to listen. And several hundred times he tried telling you, which probably means at least 100, and you let it go. You didn't listen. And then we wonder, why did he break it off with me? We were trying to prove something that they didn't want. I could be a fantastic singer, which I'm not, but I could be a fantastic singer. It doesn't mean you like my voice. Might mean somebody else does, but you might want the rough and tumble kind of voice. And just people have different tastes, and we have to accept that. It doesn't reflect on our self worth. It's just different. So Leila says, good analogies. Don't go there, Debbie. Don't waste your precious time. And thank you. Dog says, thanks from the acknowledgement of my dad. I'm not sad. I'm happy he's in a better place. And that helps. I had peace when my father passed because he we had some closure time, and he was at peace. He's religious. So Debbie says, Lily, I love you for looking out for me. Yeah. So we do care about each other. This was, you know, and she's got some good advice. Are we really going to waste our time? Thank you guys for those thumbs up. You guys get a check plus plus. Great job for those thumbs up. And Dog says after watching the movie The Santa Claus, I think I'm going to start doing that. Like with what I do with the kids. I had to do this when I taught English as a second language to the Chinese. I'm like, ooh, look what I have. So, okay, guys. If I get one more thumbs up, I'll show you what's in my hand. I'm gonna hold it up here till I get an extra thumbs up. We're gonna start playing some games. I'm bribing you. Um, I do have something in my hands. Nobody's curious. I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna have people tuning in like, what's this lady doing? Um, So Kalibi says, I've been observing this male. All right, it's just chapstick. After watching the movie The Santa Claus, my sons thought that Tim Allen playing Santa whilst putting on Santa's oversized pants. He remarked under his breath, "Does anyone know a tailor?" I didn't see that. Where the who said Tim Taylor? Is that like a joke? um, is that a joke? Or am I missing something? I didn't see, I saw parts of that movie. I can't say I didn't see it, but I don't remember that part if they were too big. Sorry. Um, but that would be good if he meant Taylor, Tim Taylor. And he's from Michigan. Um, so so you've been observing this male malignant narc in your building. He's been acting strange, sort of out of sync. Um, yeah, sometimes too, you can see when people are about to be triggered. They're about to do something. Keep an eye on him, protect yourself, and we're pretty much creatures of habit. So sometimes when we see things that are different, it kind of raises curiosity. That's why, like, if we were in a relationship and I cut my hair or started working out a lot of times guys would be like, "Are you cheating on me?" You know, that change makes people scared. Um, so this guy, yeah, is he up to something or just doing something different? Dog's Rashad, hey love, sounds sexy. So Rashad, you're here. You can be our little winner to give that thumbs up so you can see what's in my hand. um, over here always. Sounds sexy over here. Always good. Good to have you. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I got smashed in the knee, but it's doing better. I had a kid whack me with her lunch pail that was in their lunch bag book bag at full force, but it's doing good. It's so funny too. I was talking to one of the other art teachers. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing okay, but my knee really hurts. It still hurts. And then I was like, oh, that's my right knee. My it's the left knee I hurt. Because I was thinking, as I'm talking to her, I'm sitting on the couch and I'm like kind of rubbing my knee, and I'm like, I don't remember it being on this side, but it hurts enough. But this is the one that I blew out at gym teaching gym. So I guess it's better if I don't even know which one hurts. So I'm doing good. Rashad, what's new with you? Kalibi says, talking of singing, have you been watching The Voice? That's a very good, promising talent. Some of them are fantastic. I haven't seen this season, but I need to start looking at more of the news because there's amazing talent out there. Dog says from then on, they saw overalls as tailors. There you go. Rashad's been here before. Yes, Rashad has been here before. And Dog likes to know everybody's little history. If you want to give her a little information on yourself, that's up to you. But I know it's always good to get to know each other better. Lily says, love you back. Been there. And Dog says, I taught English to kids from China. I love those little Chinese kids. I like, and to be honest, the ones that we taught, um, some of the parents, not all of the parents, but they have real high expectations. And there's a lot of American and Canadian teachers that taught those kids. And some of those parents, like, they don't mess around. It was pretty hard seeing some kids get hit, and there's a lot of physical violence. Those kids are under a lot of pressure. Only 50% of them make it to the university, and they have, I think they recently changed the testing because the suicide rate was so high. They were under so much pressure. And Debbie says, I'd be a fool to go back to that treatment of abuse from him. And we have to remember that. Sometimes we miss the good times or want to clear our name that we were the best lover or best wife material or whatever. But we're like, doesn't matter. It's over. Somebody who really appreciates us it's when it's good, it flows, you know? Um, yeah, it's sad. Kalibi says, "I have a feeling his female covert narcs been has been driving him nuts, and his behavior shows it." And, I just had a friend say that, they don't know of any happy marriages. So, yeah, the give and take, in today's day and age, not that many people want to, put the right kind of effort in, or they don't know how to. We don't know how to talk to people. Even with COVID that just happened, people lost track of interpersonal relationships. So dog is saying hi to Rashad. Nice to meet you. Nice little football. And she's passing the ball. She is passing the ball to you. So that's like a little talking stick where you get to tell us about you or anything that you want to talk about. So dog says the violence is unacceptable. It reminds me of gymnasts from Romania or other communist countries. I can't bear to see it. And yeah, some people are forced into things, and um, their life is used for somebody else's purpose. And we only have one life. That's the thing. Like, you want to use my car and you smash it. It kind of sucks, but I can get another one. Can't get another life. Um, Klebe says, and the narcs are not capable in-depth discussions. Their brains are not that sophisticated, and it gets confusing because they can talk about quantum physics and this and that, or politics, knowing every name, date, year, and you're like, what makes you sad? And they're they do not like the deep conversations, and sometimes it glosses over. Thank you. Oh my gosh, what else do I have to show you? All right, I got that extra thumbs up. Whoops. I have a dirty corner. How's that? All right. Ah, do do do. You guys want to take a little tour? I'll take a little tour. There we go. So I was going to show you. Sorry about that. A marker. Look at that. All right, let me put you guys back, get myself back up on stage. This is a Logitech camera, and I hate it. It does not have a good clip. I spent so much money on several different computers trying to get a good camera. I used to have a good camera on my old computer. I really liked it. The color was great and vibrant, but since teaching online, I got 2 dead computers. And when I was sewing, I had a sewing machine graveyard of like 14 sewing machines. I'm starting to get a computer graveyard going on upstairs, because prices are starting to come down. It's kind of like, is it worth fixing? Might be worth fixing just for that camera. I don't know. But yeah, now you got to buy external cameras. Unless you guys have some information, because I'm not even crazy about this camera. It's decent, but not good. Um, but yeah, the violence is unacceptable. GoPro Black is a good camera. Who makes that? GoPro Black. Thank you. I know since my dad passed, I have his camera too. I don't. Um, GoPro 11 Black. I think maybe my dad even looked that. I think my dad looked that up because I know that sounds familiar, and I don't think this is a GoPro. Do you know if it looks better than what I have? Does it look better than the camera I have? Otherwise, I'll just keep this one. Um, what lighting do I even have on? This is without the lighting and lighting. Different. Why aren't you cooperating? I need a little setup. GoPro makes it. Yeah, I think you're right. This is a Logitech though, and Basso says it's a good value all-purpose action camera, but you could also use it for vlogging. Has 5K resolution. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that. Is that a camera? Oh, okay. That's a okay, good camera. That is not an external camera. That's different. Mine is a unit that streams the video. So this is just a video capture, but that's why I heard of it. Okay, GoPro is a good camera for videos, and that's like where you would use an actual camera. This is a phone, but I have a digital camera it's so sad. It's not good quality.
So I don't even use it for video camera. Okay, so you're talking actual camera. I'm talking plug and play camera where there's no buttons on it. It just streams it. But that should do you know the GoPro? I think this is what I wanted to know. The GoPro, does it record video or is it just camera? I don't want just a camera. Oh, but you said for vlogging. Um, Cynthia, can you go to a computer store, view through all? That's the thing. I went to computer stores and I did look, but when you get the one that they pull off the thing, it was fuzzy. I had one making me like literally seasick, like I felt like throwing up. I kept putting on like two, three pairs of glasses because I kept like thinking that I'm not seeing right. Worst. And then contacting the companies and sometimes too, you have to, download drivers, and I spent, like, you buy a new computer and you're spending 14 hours a day to adjust the camera so you don't get dizzy, and I spent, like, 3 and a half, 4 times as much as I was going to, so I didn't have to go through the crap. So I got sick of it and just said, "Screw it, I'll buy an external camera." So you don't know about that, but I will check into that. That's why that's registering in my head, because I have thought about buying that. That's like a camera. I just need to know if it does video, so I can look into that. Thank you for bringing that up, 'cause, I think Imma get one. Dog says, "Cynthia, before we sail away, just a reminder that Calibri asked if you would address Dark Triad. Don't forget, GoPro is for motion." Okay. And, yeah, as far as how to spot it, it's just the more extreme behaviors. If you wanna ask me a few more direct questions on, what you would like to know more about it, but, I did go into the Machiavellianism, the psychopathy, and how do you spot it? You can look at their eyes with, during the rage period, you can see if they're like watching, if they're kind of paranoid and trying to see what is going on around them. Look for sneers, also a flat effect sometimes too. Since of the psychopathy, um, you can see some jealousy. It's weird how you can pick up on the vibes. And that's where you have to be in tune with yourself too. They are sadist in nature, very sadistic, where they take pleasure in other people's pain, which goes along with the psychopathy. So it's not only that they harm people, they actually take pleasure in it. So thank you for bringing that up. Yes, they do take the pleasure, but narcissists take pleasure in pain too. So they go to the extreme. They will torture, they will overpower, and it's, just trying to regain power. Humiliation. They don't mind doing humiliation and they don't mind bringing it public. Basil, I see that you just retracted something. Let me know if um, there's something I can help you with, or you just decided to do it. I sometimes have good lighting, but not really here. I'm trying to figure out where to put things. I have this down here so I can have my green screen. Um, lighting does make a difference, but just like I had it in the middle of my living room. And I'm like, "Oh, I need to put it in the corner." So I'm not crazy about this setup. I was thinking about going back upstairs in my classroom, and rearranging things. I got a whiteboard. Who is it? Like Richard Grannon, how he does stuff on the whiteboard. I was thinking about doing that, but I got to move a huge roll top desk all by myself and a big old wood table out of the way. So Dog says, "I know a lot of YouTubers want me to connect you." Yes, I would love to do some podcasts. Love to, whether they want to, you know, interview me or I interview them or duet with them. I would love that. As many as possible. I will do several a day, dog defender. As many people as would like to talk to me. I would love to do that. 'Cause, I think, it gives different perspectives, it can be interesting too with the 2 different people talking. Yes, I've done 3 podcasts, but I'd love to do more. Um, I did one, Dare to Know. I don't know if you guys saw that. She's the one who reached out to me. She saw my channel and liked my take on narcissism. So I got pretty blessed with that. Dare to Know, it's the number 2. and, you can see the video there. So and I don't get credit I mean, I don't get financial money from that, but that's okay. I just want to get the name out there that our channel exists because I'd like it to grow. Still planning on traveling and meeting you guys. Debbie says, I wish I could have been there when he realized when I was walking away. And um, it doesn't change it though. I get it. And there's a lot of things I wish too, but sometimes we have to let that go, you know? Oh, it was just about the camera. Okay. Not a problem. You guys are welcome to retract things, so I don't mean to give you a hard time. I just notice it. So just go, never mind. But thank you, Basil. You're so patient with me. Doc says, Kalibi, you might like a point of view from Dr. Todd Grande. He isn't as personable or loving as Cynthia, but he reports facts and he has a dry sense of humor. He has a video solely on the dark triad, and I've actually seen it. I do like Dr. Todd Grande. He does a lot of things with criminals, also body language, lies, all that kind of stuff. And he will talk about the dark triad. He does male versus female narcissism. He has the scientific approach and scientifically informed, is how he says it. So he is good. Feel free to look at him. Yes, I have a ring light. Can you see it in my eyes? I try to move it so you can't. Look, you see my ring light? I have a lamp there and this, and I don't have overhead lighting, but um, eventually that's why I'm trying to find a house where I can have some outside property, a pool or a lake, and just good. Yeah, we'll see if I can find what I want where I am. Some people swear by it, but that's what's giving me the glare on my glasses. Um, some people too. Have you ever seen where their pupils? So this is what I look. Here, I'll take my glasses off so you can see. This is what I look like with the ring light on, and that's what I look like with it off. So it does give you a little bit more definition, and so that's the difference. I do have a good light upstairs that I use that has the right angle too, but I'm just in this little corner on a little desk. I got a just the way everything fits, I had to put it here. Would I consider doing a different issue entirely? Probably, probably. Got lots to talk about. Um, yeah, what kind of things are you thinking about? He is on daily. Okay. What is it that he does? You want me to talk about football? I'll be a cheerleader. Yeah, but let me know, you got somebody in mind. What do they talk about? Dr. Grande takes on more of a clinical approach to narcissism. Yeah, he's good though. He is good. Let me know if you have any other questions or angles that you want me to address. Sometimes I try to answer it. I'm very versatile and can do anything, I believe. Thank you, Lily. I'm pretty blessed. I have studied so much that, yeah, I am pretty versatile, but I take that as a compliment. Dog defenders passing the ball. Yes, which is why I explain in advance. He isn't like our girl, but he does have a very to the point approach. Yeah, he's a lot different than I am. He is a lot different, but he's scholarly. So anything I don't answer, either ask again or check him out. You've seen studying narcissism for about 4 years, and continues on to it continues on to my benefit. Yeah, the more we study, the more we can understand things, the more we can see things, the more we can avoid this from happening again or having it overtake us. It changes us to where we're oh, did I say that the right way? Maybe I need to be a little more compassionate. It makes us a better person too. So, um, dog says, how far away is your mom's? Isn't her home a ton of land? What about purchasing part? It's like 2 hours away from work. So, yeah, I mean, I probably could do something like that. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Um, yeah, it's like a 6,000 square foot house. And it is on a lake, but it's kind of like um, and for quite a bit, it's like some seaweed and stuff. Beautiful acre with trails and stuff, but very expensive, you know. And I can use it now, I could use it now, but I'm hoping to just, do my own thing. And then also too, it gets kind of hectic with the internet. Like there's times I'm like, okay, let's post this or see if it works. And um, you got to run up here because the internet doesn't work. And yeah, but it's a beautiful, yeah, good thinking. Have I done them for you guys? I know I did videos for my teaching that I use their property. So I should do that. I should go out there and just kind of sit. Um, Yeah, they do have beautiful property. Maybe I'll do that. I'm going out there Sunday. I'll try and make some videos so you can at least see their property too. It's really pretty. Good thinking, dog. I can use that for a little while. But not during the winter. I don't want to go out there in the winter. Dog says most YouTubers um are you guys interested in true crime? Because I am super interested in true crime, and I'd like to do more on that. I just want to kind of help you guys out as well. But sometimes, too, studying that true crime, we can understand the criminal mind and our narcissist because, um, you know, the things they do, are a lot of times things that a plain old narcissist does. They just don't get caught. Um, you know, a lot of things. How do you guys feel? Seriously, that's a good question. I want to know about if people want to know more about true crimes because that's how we learn. History repeats itself. Kalibi says for about 4 years. And Dog says, Kalibi, knowledge is power. I am a student for life. And Lily says, being a court reporter sure was a free education. Oh, I bet. The things that you saw and heard. Whoa. And even just the way people, their personalities and the way they acted. Rashad, are you still here? We still love you. And feel free to join in or just watch whatever works for you. Um, but yeah, I know sometimes people get quiet and you're always welcome to join in. She's not, Rashad's not here right now that I see, but I still love you. Maybe um, Dog says you could have that hauled away. Yeah, I know. Um, but I also have like 3 siblings and that's like way out of my price range, even if I inherited a lot of it. Um, Depends on when I inherit it too. Maybe in 10 years I afford it. My mom's still alive, so you never know. Um, huh. Yeah, it's just yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Do I stay here or move? Like I have a pretty good salary where I'm at, and some places want to honor it, some don't. So I'll have to see, and then the cost of living, all that kind of stuff that plays into it. Kalibi says, "I've been studying narcissism." Sorry. Uh, Kalibi says, "For me, not being aware of narcissism during my younger years could have saved me the collapsed relationship that I've had, but I've learned and still learning." And if they learn to, because this is where it gets tricky is they're just tempted by other things. Everything has to be their way. And yeah, we can handle it different ways, but um, they feel so entitled. And every time we give in, I don't know, it's really hard. It's really hard. Just like that one little kid that's very violent at my school. Um, we keep trying. We're at risk every time we're near him. He acts out all the time. And, you know, uh, even when they wanna change, that boiling point happens, that, click, um, and when we have conversations, have you guys ever thought, like, "I wish I woulda said that," or, "Ugh, why did I say it that way?" It's really hard, um, and when you're in a fragile relationship to say the right thing because everything gets taken the wrong way. So, I agree we could have done things a little different, but it probably would've just prolonged it. Um, and then I don't know. We get more attached and they don't. That's the thing we have to remember is the attachment. The attachment's not there. It's different. They don't connect like we do. And, you know, we cherish people. We cry over them. We pray over them if you're religious. We um, want to make certain things special for them. And they I don't know. They do during that love bombing stage, but they keep pulling back and back, and as they pull back, you feel it, and then I don't know, it's just such a terrible dynamic. Um, Debbie says, "I didn't know what a narcissist was until I met one." A lot of us are blindsided. You know, you see it all over YouTube, like, "What the heck was that?" And, others are like, I had narcissistic parents, so some people were exposed to that, but, in adult life, it's like, "Whoa," and it can be extremely devastating. Dog says, "Debbie, most of us didn't. They are certain." And how many of you, seriously, if you guys could help me out with this, how many of you were warned by your friends or parents or siblings? How many of them warned you about this person? Sometimes we pass that off. And Lily says, same here. I just thought they were sons of bitches. Yeah. And it goes way deeper than that. And then they take you in so you think you're safe. Uh-uh. Nope. You got to think about gangs too, how gang can turn on their own people. So just because you're part of that gang or relationship doesn't mean you're not going to get turned on. You think you're safe because you're in that clique, but you're not. Dog says, Debbie, maybe you should find a good trauma informed therapist that can really help you unpack it. There's so much to try and sort out. It does take time. Sometimes it can take years. Therapists do help. Uh, we have to understand ourselves as well as the narcissist. Um, and Lily's, it's good advice. Get the right kind of therapist, one who understands, as opposed to say you should just buck up. They need to have some compassion for you too. Lily says, "Sorry, I'm not interested in the true crime." That's okay. That be honest with me, because I would feel like I'm working the case and like I forget about that. And like dog, I get visuals and it's scary for me. But working in criminal court didn't bother me. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, I wouldn't do all like the gory stuff, but yeah, sometimes the stories are pretty traumatic. Uh, and then so I can understand that. Thank you for that. Debbie says the narc told me he's always right. Everything is his way. I learned a lot from not having anything physical with him. So yeah, yeah. And I've heard that kind of stuff too. Or I don't love the same way. And it's all about me. And you'll hear that a lot. Sometimes they'll say it in jest, sometimes they'll say it, straight out, but they mean it. And Debbie says, "You're not." Okay, good. Okay, now I know. Thank you, Debbie. Lily says it was all a front, Debbie. Don't be gullible. And sometimes that's hard to accept. Uh, and Doc says they cannot connect. Wanted a toaster, got a washing machine. It sucks, but it will never be a toaster or make breakfast. Exactly. And raise your hands up. Raise your hands up. Why am I raising my hands up? Oh, okay. Okay. We're good. We're good. Kalibi says, no one warned me until it happened. And Debbie says he was probably thinking here's the sucker. No, not my friends. Dog says consider a spectrum low 0 to 12, medium 3 to 4, high 5 to 7, and extreme 8 to 10. Narcs live in 8 to 10. Um, uh, 10 is like psychopathy, so they can be up there. Yeah. I might do 7 to 9, but um yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. It is a spectrum and each one does have a different spectrum. All of our narcissists are not going to do the same kinds of abuse. But you have a good point. There is a spectrum to it and narcs are the selfish ones. And there's times too, am I uh selfish for not letting you guys stay the night here tonight? You can't. use my extra bedroom. And you can be like, what? And nobody's using it. And, let's just say I don't feel like cleaning it after you guys leave, or I don't owe that to you. Maybe I could be nice. Maybe it makes me uncomfortable. So you can say I'm selfish, but, um, there's a difference between selfish and, trying to steal from you something that's yours, something I'm not entitled to, or denying you things. If I promise you dinner and you came without food and now I'm denying it because I'm being selfish, going back on certain promises. So makes a difference there. Is an ad coming? I will continue on with you guys. Um, so I'll be right back. Keep typing away. So, um, I want to make sure I get you guys. So, yeah, there is a spectrum. Narcissists live in 8 to 10. Lily says, no one wanted because I didn't share until I left him. Only one best friend I talked to, but I wasn't confused or delusioned by him because knew he was nuts. Okay. Um, and this is what's interesting too, is see how we get a little secretive. I did it too, that we don't always say, we kind of start hiding things. And why do we do that? Why are we hiding this person that we love or want to be with or are really good friends with? And just like you say, only one best friend and I talked about it. So we start keeping secrets. That's where the whole little shift and us starting to turn a little more narcissistic than we were. We get a little, in a sense, either shady or not open to the people that we used to be open with, and causes differences in how the friendship is. So, Lily, thank you. Calibri says narcs play on the same playbook. You can identify them on their actions and words they say. Yep, they'll say it. You'll see it. And yeah, even just through their actions. Actions speak louder than words. And that is so true. Uh, Debbie says, I should say enjoy those rain cutlets, buddy. Yeah, and that's the thing, like, if he's sleeping around, be careful. Dog says, Lily, I hear you. True crime, more of criminal profiling angle. Not into gore either. Yeah, I don't want to do the gore, but criminal profiling, yeah, that's more what I'm into too, in the body language and how the just the mind of it, not the gore. And also too, what they think they can get away with. Some of the things that they say, it's like, are you kidding me? And then when they're caught, Lily and became friendly with wonderful neighbor lady and told her about him, and she watched daughter. And when I flew out of town for job interview for 2 days, still in touch. Sometimes too, it can bring some lifelong friendships because, yeah, um, so there are certain little blessings that come through that relationship, even though there's a lot of doom and gloom. Doc says there is a YouTube video I wish I could find. It is of Utah divorce lawyers speaking and interviewing a psychiatrist. The way they put narcs was epic. Oh, sometimes it's like, why can't I get it? Basil, thanks so much for joining us. Basil says, goodbye, everyone. I'm going to go take my meds and get some good rest. Good to see you again, Cynthia. Looking gorgeous as usual. Thank you so much. Good to have you here. Get some good sleep, and I hope to see you soon. So this is my spring break. I will be going on at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time now through Saturday this week. Thanks for joining us. Lily says, right, but I never sugarcoated anything. And yeah, some of us talk straightforward. I have a hard time with that. I'm direct, but I'm not as bold as I should be, I guess. And sometimes I am, though. Cleary says, upon discovering who and what we're dealing with, I am more selective with what I share with them. And that includes some lies that I don't want them to know the truth. And, that's the thing. Are they entitled to know um, our truths? There are some people that are entitled to it, you know, um, and others aren't. So Lily says exactly, Calibri. Dog says, Cynthia, I do not believe that. Our response is like fear of exposure and shame. I think it's a healthy reaction to an abusive person, and we can't trust everyone with such personal drama and trauma. Um, let me see what and depends on what part of the relationship. That's the thing too, is like when we connect with the minds, that we connect at the right part. So, if you were sexually assaulted, you might not want to tell certain people, but what I was talking about, and sometimes that's why it's good to clarify what I was talking about is not the personal, integral things. But even just that we date them or that they yelled at us or little things like that. So there are different things. But we don't want to talk about like, hey, how you doing? Oh, I saw him Friday night because we're afraid that it's going to get deeper. And sometimes too, we miss out on people protecting us because we do that. So I get it. We don't want to talk about it, but um, it's a healthy reaction to an abusive person. When we, so as far as hiding, and I think this was what they were saying is hiding that we even have a relationship with that person, that, uh, and that affects the other relationships. If they found out you've been living with somebody for that long, why didn't you tell me? I thought we were friends. It still affects your relationship. And a healthy reaction to an abusive person, not to tell your people who care about you about them. And it is hard to trust. It is hard to trust, and we forget the people that we can trust, and we don't always know if they are trustworthy, and it does get scary. Um, but a healthy reaction, not to, um, depends on what part it is. There are certain things that you shouldn't talk about or that are hard to talk about. But if you're not going to tell your friends about it and you're being sexually abused, you should at least talk to the cops or something, or your physician or police department, that, whether we're ashamed or not, we're not protecting ourselves and we're not letting others protect ourselves as well. But I don't know if I like the word healthy, healthy reaction to an abusive person, to not tell our friends and family unless I'm missing what you're saying. But I love you, and um, sometimes, but it's a little difficult. Dog says Basil, good night. So we love you. Lily says night to Basil as well. Aw, lots of love back to you guys from Basil. Dog says always have known, spoke with therapists rather than just anyone I know. Some people want to spread drama. Yeah, they do. And oh, Melissa is here. Good to have you, Melissa. Thank you. And Dog says, I have always known, spoke with therapists rather than just anyone I know. Some people want to spread drama. Okay. And that's true. Sometimes, for one thing, we take up our resources too much. Whoever gave me that thumbs up, thank you, thank you. Um, so yeah, we should enjoy our friendships with our friends, that we don't want to bring it down too much. You also have to be cautious that people are going to spread drama. So it is good to have a therapist. It is good. Very good, that way you don't weigh down your other relationships. um so I see where you're coming from with that. Lily says white lies. Yes, white lies. And look at that beautiful dove Vassal gives to Calibri. Calibri says, upon knowing what they are, they just lost their license of being a friend to me. I shut the door metaphorically on their faces. Judy is here. She says, night, night. Oh, Judy, thank you for joining us. You are so quiet. Good to have you here, Judy. Judy's been here before. Lily says, thinking a dog means that they can throw it back at you, which often happens. So we have to be selective. You're right. Peace out, Basil, says Calibri. Melissa's saying hi to us. How's it going, Melissa? Hopefully you had a good day today. Dog says, if it isn't being narcissistic, in other words, if you feel his abuse tactics were scary, hiding it is the safe way. Not necessarily. I've told enough people in high places, you can always say, I'm not ready. If you hide from a therapist, that's not safe. Yeah, I agree with that. Um, and you're not going to put this out there. So, yeah, there are certain things, you have to feel safe to open up to people too, and it's sad how many people take advantage of that. But, you know, uh, it's sometimes hard to work through trauma, but it's necessary to, for it to heal. So I see what you're saying, and I agree. So Lily says, "Well said, Calibri, about the upon discovering comment." So good job, Calibri. James is here. Hey, James, how's it going? Good to have you here. Hey, for the record, I really love Battlefield Earth. That movie was so bad, it was good. Man, animals. I've never seen that. Well, good. Well, there's all things that we like for the record. Thank you for sharing that. Dog says I'm a victim of abuse. I have told all the right people. And hopefully they helped you. They don't always help, but hopefully they helped you. Lily says, smart dog. Yeah. Tell the people that are going to help you the most. Debbie says, I made many mistakes with the narc. I should have shut up. We all well, a lot of us go through that too, where it's like, man, I said too much. And it kind of eats us up. But to the new people that just joined in, feel free to let me know if you're struggling with something or any topic requests, or feel free to comment and support each other. This is a loving community. Let's keep it loving and safe for everybody. And please feel free to join in or just watch. So Debbie says, that's me when I know I'm right. I tend to speak up no matter what. And that was my first mistake. Calling him a narc was another one. Yeah. People, you know, people don't like being called that, and especially the narcissist because they want to be seen as perfection. And so by calling them that, it's just going to cause an argument. It's not going to cause them to self-reflect. And Melissa, lots of prayers for you too. She says she's praying for all of us. And um, so, you know, regret is hard. Regret is hard to live with, and I get it. But do they regret it? Do they have remorse for um there's a reason you would call him a narcissist. Like, you have not called me a narcissist one time. And Debbie, you and I have been chatting for quite a while. You haven't called me a narcissist. You called him that for a reason, because he was showing narcissistic tendencies. And I want you to think about that. Were you the bitch for calling him a narc? You don't go around calling people that. That's not you. You haven't called any of these people in the forum a narc. There's a reason you said that to him. So we have to remember that. And, sometimes the truth hurts and we feel bad that we hurt them. Hopefully we said it in a kind way, but that's why calling somebody a narcissist is, if they are a narcissist, is counterproductive, unfortunately. But I know it's hard. I'm not trying to discount that. Dog says, I've read all the books, seen all the videos, and ultimately have learned that I had to be one. I just uh, bebop's, and ultimately have learned that I had to be the one to save myself. And even one best friend, if you start telling everyone who knows the quality of advice, that's a good point too. For one thing, are they going to understand it? Are they going to come from a layman's perspective where they're like, just leave, just get over it, or go have a beer. Let's go have a beer and get you drunk, which is not the right thing to do. Um, so, yeah, the quality of advice makes a huge difference too. A lot of times we might go to our best friend, the one that's going to listen to us the most, and they're going to listen to us the most because they're available. They don't have other friends to hang out with, or whatever the reason is. Lily says, I screenshotted that comment, Calibri, because it's brilliant. Oh, so here we go. Where is Calibri's check plus plus and a smiley face? Um, so you're watching Sesame Street, Melissa? There you go. You can learn a lot from Sesame Street. Well, good. I'm glad you're watching Sesame Street. Kalibi says boundaries, boundaries, strong quality boundaries. Build them for your own protection. And we need to start taking care of ourselves. James says, really, you never saw that one? I should check it out. No, I don't really watch movies, so I have no idea what's out there. Like, I've seen E.T. and that's about it. Judy says, LOL. Yeah, I'm so glad you're here. I remember you. TV show. See, I don't even know if they're TV shows or movies. I know what Sesame Street is. I've seen that. I went to, talking about Sesame Street, that in Pennsylvania, they had Hershey Park. I don't know. When I was growing up, it was really good childhood memory where you went to the Hershey factory, and they also had something called Sesame Place where it was like a little jungle gym, like the big climbing ropes. And adventure course type thing. But there was a chocolate fire. I think it was Hershey's. Does anybody know the outcome of that? There was a big fire. I think I think it was Hershey, and I don't know if it was that Sesame Place area. So hopefully everybody's okay with that. Um, so dog says great fences make good neighbors. I like that. Put up those fences and enjoy your neighbors. Just keep them on the other side. Lily says right. And dog's comment also to Debbie, I think. And dog says maybe Melissa, but whether you spoke up or not or whatever does not mean you created them. They were like that before and will be after. Yeah. So when we start feeling bad, it's like, was it really our fault? You know, dog says, "Hi, Melissa. This is a show close to my heart." James says, uh, you were in Scientology, right? Is the Sea Org ship real?" I don't even know. And can I ask why you think I was in Scientology? What made you say I was in Scientology? Sometimes people think I'm actually somebody different. Um, and I don't know if uh so I've it's weird. So I've been mistaken for cluster bee milkshake sometimes. Uh just because 'cause we're both so beautiful. Sea Org ship. And I think Dog Defender, do you know stuff about that Sea Org ship? Let me just see. Because I'd like to answer that. What do you know about it? Um, it's not pulling up. Did you spell it correctly? Did I? The auto. I wish they would get rid of autocorrect because I know how to spell. That's what makes me mad is I spell it right. Sea org ship. And then they autocorrect it. It's like, no, I know what I'm doing. Um, so that is a Viking ship in a mound from 834 at the Oslo 5th. Well preserved Viking ship discovered in a large burial mound. Um, Unfortunately, I don't know about that. The untold story of the big boat that broke the world, fully operational, manned crew loaded with goods worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and a Viking ship. Vestfold County, Norway, commonly acknowledged to be among the finer artifacts. I don't know about that. So, I'm not sure if you think I'm me, since you brought up Scientology, or if you think I'm Cluster B or somebody else. But James, good to have you here. So dog says Lily, look at those purple lovey hearts, and Lily sends it back. Dog says Cynthia. Okay. Um, Gotta love it getting ready for Thanksgiving. Um, Cynthia, you may want to address James. So yeah, James, let us know what's going on. You having a good day, bad day, um, and just let us know. I believe you were in here before. Melissa says a narcissist told me I don't have inner workings of healings, changing and growing. Um, that's the thing, they have to want to change, and it's so ingrained in their personality. Even us, we want to heal. Is it that easy for us to heal? Are you guys having an easy time? It's not easy. So the narcissist, is it going to be easy for them? We do the self reflection. We have the guilt and the remorse, and I wish I would have said that, and I want to fix it, but they had the fuck it type attitude. So Melissa says, a narcissist told me I don't have inner working. Oh, he told you that. And we have to believe him. That's why I keep saying sometimes, we're all bashing them for lying, but when they do tell the truth, we pass it away. We don't listen to it. So I'm going to read what he said, and we either think they're being silly or they can't possibly mean it. But he told her, I don't have the inner workings of healing, changing, and growing. So he's not going to tap into them, whether he has them or doesn't. He doesn't believe he does. And if he doesn't believe, he doesn't, because you have to access it, you know. So Dog says, James, if you are serious, Google it. There are thousands of videos of Scientology on YouTube and hundreds of podcasts. So, yeah, I don't know anything about it. I'm not into Scientology. Melissa says we are watching with kids. Aw. So it's good that you joined us and also watching Little Grover. Lily says, don't listen to Narcs, Melissa. Yeah. And that's the thing, though. Sometimes we have to. He told her the truth. He told her the truth that time. That's when we do need to listen. And Dog says, Lily. Melissa says that we are big kids, LOL. And you were just wondering, okay. Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I'm not into Scientology. So dogs, what is it about the Gorschkenberg ship? I can't remember. I heard you. Um, so yeah, she was wondering what's interesting about it to you. Debbie says, what do narcissists think when they know that you are smart? That they can't pull the wool over your eyes? Do they not have a use for you, or do they try after time to come back and try again? Um, I know mine was very intimidated by my intelligence. I am not threatening at all. And he thought I was dangerous because of my knowledge. And he could bench 550 pounds, like over 400 pounds more than I could at that time. Now I can't even do the bar, so it's like 500 pounds. Um, cop with a weapon and knows pressure points and all that kind of stuff. And it's like they think we're dangerous. Some of it is how their mind works. They know how other people can manipulate, but they overlook who you are. But if they know we're smart, they know we can catch on. They know we can find resources. They know we can attack back. They know we can file police reports, put them in jail. We can, um, you know, yeah. I mean, it's harder. Um, the closer you get, like, do you guys know if I had a guy spend the night last night? Well, if you live next door, you know if I did or didn't. So the closer you are, the more information you know. So that's why they like to keep us at a distance. So you can't find out the information. That's why a lot of times too they won't add you on Facebook. You can't find out the information. That's why they'll hide their phone so you can't find out the information. The more distant it is, the easier it is for them. But we're smart enough to pick up even on just the clues of communication. So when the clues of communication we get tuned in, doesn't matter how much distance. They just said what they said, and we have our evidence, or at least enough of it, and they don't like it. They don't like it. So James says, I am not a part of them. I am just some guy who thinks they are out of their mind. Yeah, there's some different stuff. I gotta do the straight arm. I gotta do a little dab. Um, so okay, yeah. And yeah, there's a lot of actors and actresses that are into Scientology. Dog says, but James, this isn't a cult forum. Um, that is true. I did just do a video though on communal narcissism and a cult. So yes, this is not a cult one, but today I did upload that video. James, have you been here before? I know we've had James with a B and your name looks familiar. But that might be why. Because there is difference between communal narcissism and cults with a little like some overlapping. Calibri narcs are simple-minded. They keep on trying their silly games to trap you. Yeah, as long as they still want you, they'll trap you. They'll put in a certain amount of effort. They're so crazy. So James says I was watching a lot of things about ex members of them. Then your feed pops up. Okay. Well, glad to have you here. So we do talk a lot about mental illness and narcissism, also different mental illnesses, how to heal, any traumas that people have gone through. So hopefully we're a good fit for you. I don't know if we are. I don't know what things are on your heart and your mind. So you say, dog, I just thought that ship was made up by Tom Cruise. Yeah, sometimes too, maybe. I don't know. Could be. So Doc says, so you are new. Doc says, well, if you watch, did you watch my video? Did you like my video, James? Or did I just pop up? That might be why. Maybe because of today's topic that I did, communal versus cult. That could be. Um, Dog says, "Well, if you watch Escape Cult members, you should know about the Sea Org. No, who did you watch that has escaped? And that's a shipwreck, though, isn't it? Am I misunderstanding what I read? Debbie says, "Dog, are all narcs in a cult?" Um, I'll let you answer that, but Dog, when you answer that, I'll let you answer it first, and then I'd like to answer it too. James says, "Dog, I just thought, okay, made up by Tom Cruise." Dog says, "They know we are not dangerous. They are projecting. They are trained monthly on defensive tactics. They know we are not. If anyone you consider hanging out with denied you access to social media, phone, they are hiding things." Yeah, they definitely don't want you to have a lifeline. They don't want their secrets out. And maybe I have heard of this. Is it where they strip you of any communication? Maybe I have heard of this. Um, wasn't it like going to islands or something? Maybe I have heard of this. Dog says if anyone, sorry, Melissa, I like Big Bird, Elmo, Grover, and other characters. Yes. Sesame Street's has changed a lot over the years, though, but they got some cute animals, critters. Dog says there are many. John, what show did you just watch? I think you mean James. Do you mean James? No, I have not. Dog says not necessarily Debbie, but there are narcs behaviors of their leaders quite often. Yeah. The leaders, yes, but a lot of times those people that are in the cult are very kind people, maybe lost people or trusting people, or people who are just brainwashed. But, the narcissists that I was with, they're not in a cult. They're not in a cult. A lot of them will operate alone. They don't need a cult. They'll, unless they might have a group of people who want to be their friends, but I wouldn't necessarily call that a cult. So I agree with Dog that they're not all in a cult. Uh, Lily says that's when they move on and get new supply because they can't get your goat. That's what X did, and I loved him being gone. And some of us celebrate the end of the relationship. Not all of us, but some of us are like, thank God. He stayed gone for 3 months one time. We would still talk. And Dog says, tell me, John, do you mean James or John? Um, Tell me what you watched. Who was the channel run by? And I think she means James. So Dog would like to know which what you got to see and what channel you saw. So Lily says, did I care or ask where he was? Hell no. Yep. Oh, you were gone for 3 months. Really? I thought you left at noon. There you go. Yeah, sometimes we don't even miss it. And that's when you know you've healed. When you're like, oh my gosh, it's been that long. Um, and that's why, Debbie, you're gonna have this one time where you're like, whoo, I don't even know how long it's been. So that's when it's a really good sign. No, you go, Cynthia. Oh. Um, so yeah, it was yeah, I read your response and it's not every narcissist by far. By far, it's not every narcissist that's in a cult. And I think they'd probably want to be more leader. Well, my guess is they want to be more leaders than followers. They wouldn't want to give all that crap up. Um, a vulnerable one might join uh, to be taken care of, so they can join. But I don't think that's their first, unless they're in power or want to be taken care of. So your edge is hiring private investigators or decoys. Yeah, you can do that too. Um, find out what's up. And, sometimes our gut's telling us to double check. Dog says, I never want to be seen helping. I fly below. And that's what's so sweet about Dog. Dog has the biggest heart. She will help all of us. She's really here as our supporter. And I adore that you're here and all you guys too. I never want to be seen helping. And,
It's okay to want to be helped too. So I have an ad coming up in about 1.5 minute, but hang in there, guys. Um, yeah, lost people. It says dog, the lost people. I agree. Lily says he cleaned my garage where when we were dating and found out he read my diary from when I was 17, all about boys, of course, and threw it back at me years later. Immature fool. And that's the thing. It's like I didn't even know you. And they'll just yeah, you'll never forget it. You can be 90 years old on your deathbed and they're like, remember right before prom you kissed that guy? Well, obviously you didn't love me all these years. Like, wait, what? Um and there's no respect in that too, you know? S so, so you cleaned he cleaned your garage. Oh, I definitely wanna make sure the ad's not still running because that's something I definitely wanna talk about how he cleaned your garage, and, so he cleaned your garage, and we think a lot of times now, I don't know his reason for doing that, but sometimes they want to clean your car, they want to clean your bedroom or whatever, your garage, so they can find the nitty gritty. Or steal your panties or whatever. But there can be ulterior motives. Here we're like, I'm the luckiest girl in the world. He cleans my car, organizes my purse for me. And it's like, do you know what he's really doing? Sometimes it is purposely to um, search your stuff, and we think that they're like we're so lucky, you know. They're playing doctor or detective, whoever. Clouseau. Dog says, Lily, when I finally was granted bifur- bifurcation, I threw a. Am I saying that right? Bifurcation or bifurcation? Granted, a big word. I threw a party and bought myself a divorce ring. Bifurcation. See, I've never been married, so I don't know. Bifurcation. Okay. Separation. I don't know I don't know that word. Oh, I'm sad. Um, gosh. All right. Uh, so when you were granted that, you threw a party and bought yourself a divorce ring. Once you have all information, it's easy to walk away. You have to be missing some serious details. So yeah, it does get easier. And the more details we have, the easier it gets. So Debbie says one day when I stopped at the dealership, he came out and the first thing that hit me on an empath level was you are in a cult. I don't know where it came from, but I still believe it to be true. Um, hmm. Does he still have his own house? It depends on there are all different kinds of cults. Um, what was it that made you think he was in a cult? A lot of times too, they want to take all your money. Was he trying to persuade you to do anything? Does he look different? Dressing different? What is it that made you think that he was in a cult? There's got to be something that made you think that. Lily says he was jealous of what I did when I was 16 and 17. And we might not know what that is. We might not know what that is, but try and think for a second, Debbie. Is there anything that you noticed? There might not be. Lily says he was jealous of what I did when I was 16 and 17. Such a turn off moron. Yeah, either he had insecurities of that day and age, or in high school, maybe you were on a more popular level or whatever it was, and you never defended yourself to him. Yeah, it's like you went through my stuff. I'm not defending what you did wrong. He could have asked you. And sometimes too, going through a diary is, uh, sometimes we're lucky we can't read everybody's thoughts because there are times for us to reflect and to say things the right way that sometimes, that communication was within yourself, and I get it. So I'm glad you didn't defend yourself. You don't have to. Kalibi says our narcs here, I suspect, are cultish. There's a main female covert cult leader, then her sidekick, the malignant male narc. Then I suspect another crazy couple who follow them. And depends on what you guys mean by cult. If you mean like a big group of bullies, um,
Like we got gangs and cults and sometimes too there's even a religious aspect that go along with cults. Lily says, yeah, that's his modus operandi with all supply, do car repairs, clean, model. He's a is it operand yeah, operandi. He's a jack of all trades. Got to give him that. Yeah, but if they have an MO, sometimes it is for truly being kind, and other times they're like, yeah, I'm going to use it. It works. I can get into other places just because of that. So, and we never know. Today is that the day that they're being kind, or is today the day they're searching us for other things? So, dog says, trust your gut, whether he is actually in a cult or just presents as cultish. Both are not for you, right? We get stuck on labels. It doesn't really matter when your guy is screaming it. Yeah. Um, so, if your gut's telling you, like, this is not safe, he's renting a house with his sister and nephew. It was a look. I can't explain it, but I saw it. And sometimes, yeah, you can see people change, you know. Um, I don't know. You never know. And that's why, like with conversation, a lot of times too, you can do it. But if you're not talking to them, it makes it harder too, because they can be, yeah, yeah, I'm giving my money to this, and even if, but I don't know. There are cults out there. There definitely are. Um, Kalibi says, then a good number of them That a good number of flying monkeys that follow and support them. Oh, yeah. Yep. And that's sometimes why it seems like a big organized cult, because they do sometimes enlist so many people, and it could be a cult too. I'm not discounting that. Debbie says, sorry, I read that. Lily, he read a detailed handful of all the boys I loved before. LOL, I love to write, as you can probably tell, and I wrote every detail. Oh no. um, yep, busted. Oh, I'm sorry who went through that. Those are your personal thoughts. Yeah. Dog says, Lily, to that I say with a smile, quoting Grace from Will and Grace, better her than me. Very true. Yeah, and Will and Grace, yeah. I remember that show. Dog says my ex went through everything of mine as if he was entitled by search warrant. They'll do that. Yep. And Kalibi Debbie, that's what you call the narc stare, a very controlling stare. It could be. And Dog says, James, you still here? Is James here? And not hold on, guys. Let's see. Nope, not on my end. I'm not seeing him. It's weird though, because it says there's 7 people here and it has 4 participants, so I don't know. It gets confusing. Sometimes too there's like 15 people and it shows it's weird. I didn't see him. I didn't see James was still here. So arms, please. Let me see your arms. um, and yeah, I can look up participants. I don't know if it gives me the full list, but could be, Lily. Says James took off with JG. Could be. I don't know though. Sometimes did it have something to do with that video? I don't know. And he didn't go into too much. So uh sometimes too we're just startled, like, what are you talking about? So Leah says, I wrote so much I even stapled extra pages to the diary. And yes, dog. So yeah, that's cool. I hope you still have it. Dog says, I was right there with you. Writing has always been cathartic. And dog, I was right there with you. I don't write as much anymore because I don't feel safe. I need a huge safe. I agree that I used to write a lot more too. Debbie, he would never allow me to have anyone but him give a car wash. Weird. Hmm. Either he wanted the gratification or the power. Uh, yeah, there's a reason. I don't. We don't always know the reason. Doug says, "Listen to those words: never and allow." Sketchy words. Those are capital letters too. Never. So it was a definite thing that was ingrained into her, not to do that. Um, even just the use of capitals. So, and you say the word allow, and that's kind of when we start getting weak. That we we're the ones that allow that power over us. Go, fuck you, motherfucker! I'm gonna go do it, and we're like screw him. He can't tell me what to do. But and I get it, Debbie. I'm kind of like that too, where it's like I wasn't allowed to. Um, we were afraid to. Uh, we didn't want to rock the boat if we did something, but um, we do have free will. We're scared of the consequences or how it'll affect them, but are they afraid? And Leah says, right, or we'll get a hand cramp, but you can type it in your email and keep it in your saved mail. There you go. Dog says, I'm willing to bet 2 arms. Well, you owe me 2 arms. Dog says I was going on my gut and picked it up from second one. You don't burst into a room and ask random questions and then refuse to answer. Sometimes there's a delay though. I think didn't he just ask me how I'm doing and if I know anything about that. Um, JG, lol. I used to think JG was a girl. I did too for a long time. Uh, yeah, we all did. I think until you look at it and it's that actor. Kalibi, James. I felt Do you remember that one time he had like 15 different he like bombarded us with like 15 logins at the same time. How he did that, I don't know. He had different people logging in at the same time. I was so popular that night. um so yeah, dog, you picked up on it. You picked up on it that it wasn't a normal person within our genre of talking. And Kalibi says, James, I felt, was not really participating with our discussions. He has his own agenda. Yeah, it wasn't a good fit. Sometimes, too, it does pop up. I did post that video today. It could just be a, hey, okay, it's not for me. I've done that. Oh, what is this about? Oh, not for me. Um, so Dog says, Lily, my ex-narc can access any electronic in his profession. Ooh, watch out for that. Leela says, not sure if I still have it. He might have it. Yeah, dog, that's kind of dangerous. Dog says it screams I'm being trolled, controlled. It does. And so Debbie, with that being said, how we kind of sometimes pick apart words, it's not to attack you, um, or anybody else that we do that with. I try not to do it a lot, but it gives self-reflection. Sometimes we might not want to hear it. And I've done it too. I've brushed away people saying, Cynthia, this is like, are you seeing what you're saying? And when it's in the written word from somebody else reading it, and um, there are little things that I pick up on that would be good to address, whether it's through me, through yourself, therapist, or um, he didn't allow many things and told me I could hang with and who I couldn't. And so you're not living your life. And so even um you know your relationship with maybe your father, did he always tell you what you could and couldn't do? Do you rely on a man to guide you? And there's nothing wrong with we are who we are, but to be a stronger person, that we address that we don't allow people um to do that. And it's interesting that and I get what you're saying. I felt like I wasn't allowed to go out with my friends because I went out one time. That one time he called me several times and I just like, screw it, I'm just gonna go home. And I just didn't do it because I didn't feel allowed. He never told me I couldn't. He did tell me I couldn't work at a bar when he's like, you will not work here. Sometimes there are certain things where you're like, okay, I respect that, but can't hang out with your friends, and it should be I appreciate if you won't do that, or that's a deal breaker. It's up to you what you do, but it's just a little signal. on the toxicity that's in that relationship. So, dog says yes, not wanting to rock the boat, then we enable bad behavior. That's true. And I'm going to talk for a little bit more. If you guys have something pressing that you want to talk about, otherwise, I'm starting to get dizzy tired. So I'll finish this up and then log off and talk to you guys tomorrow. Uh, he didn't allow many things. And I know that's hard, but that's where we have to take back our life and say, screw you, you can't control me. Lily, oh wow, really? No privacy now when I write something like in my calendar book, I write it in a steno so no one can understand. And I've done that too. I write in code sometimes too, or I write things backwards or jimble jambled up. I like number codes. Dog says he would not tell me what channel he watched. It was simple. What channel did you just watch? But if lying, can't answer. Yeah, exactly. Um, and dog says, Lily, I wish I knew uh the steno. And I think that's stenography is what you're talking about. And the nosy yes. The court reporting, like, yeah. How many keys are in the stenographer? I don't know how many keys, but that shorthand would be amazing. And you can write that like, is that also shorthand? Kalibi says, with these new people joining in, if they don't participate in our discussion, something is fishy. They are just trolling. I don't know about that. I don't know about that because there are times that I've listened. There's like a lot of chat going on, and I'm like, that's going to take forever for my answer. And I'll just see, get to know this person. So, um, they're just watching, that's fine, that doesn't bother me. It's good to have them join in. Some people wanna test the boat before they do feel comfortable saying things, so as long as they're not harming anything, I don't mind. Uh, but I'm still new to this, don't know about all the, things out there. So you guys will protect me? How's that? Got my security posse. Okay, just screwed. And maybe they are, maybe they are. Lily says it's like another language dog. Fascinating theory. True. Dog says not attacking you, but when Cynthia said earlier, pay attention to what words we use. Just for context, my controlling ex used to tell me you can't. When I told my friend innocently, oh, I'm not all. I'm allowed. Okay. Oh, I'm not allowed. My friends looked at me like, what? We talked about it, but a loving man would never do that. They are so insecure, but that isn't our issue. And yes, Kalibi, I love how perceptive we all are here. And that is true, like sometimes we dismiss the words and the words we choose mean something. There's a reason we say what we say. And you hear about Freudian slips and all those kind of things. Um, so Lily says, right, insecure and so immature for grown men. Um, yeah, I agree. Dog says my girlfriend took doctor's notes down and printed them. Debbie says I wasn't close to my dad. Married. We never talked it over, and my husband made the final decision. Later on, I made the decision when he got sick, my husband. So it definitely didn't work for the narc. Um, okay. Okay. So the husband was kind of the leader, and when he got sick, you were kind of type thing. Um, I think that's kind of the gist of what you're saying. And yeah, not being close to your dad. Um, Sometimes too, we might want to be controlled in a sense because and sometimes you can be like, I didn't want to be controlled, but we allow that because sometimes we subconsciously want it too. And I'm not saying that's what you are, but it's like finally somebody's telling me no or something like that. You feel a connection. that you wanted that you didn't have. It's weird how the mind works. Kalibi says, and it's not necessarily saying that's for you. It's up to you to decipher what I say that works, that pertains to you individually. Kalibi says, I do shorthand, and most paper passwords that I have are in shorthand. Smart. Dog Defender, watching is different than what we pointed it out. Plus, I trust my gut. The gut will tell you a lot. Um, I've always got your 6. And Lily says, "Oh, 6, 6, okay." Gosh, I forgot 23 or 24 keys. Okay. Um, Kalibi says, "Yeah," and it's like goes in full words sometimes too, doesn't it? Or phrases, from what I heard. Kalibi, I don't know it. Kalibi says, "Yes, hand wrote the username, but I did all my passwords in shorthand. Smart, smart, smart." Debbie, maybe he was a narc, that guy, and Dog is asking, what guy was a narc? Are you talking about James or are you talking about somebody different? Kalibi says, more likely Debbie. I have a strong feeling he's a narc. Who are we talking about? I'm a little confused. Me too. I'm usually spot on. So you mean James? Yes. Okay. So we do mean James. Yes, narcs are always spying. 100%. Yes, they're spies. Good one. A plus plus for Cynthia. I don't beat around the bush. I have always called it as I see it. Not always a good choice. So thank you for the A plus plus. And because you gave me a good grade, you get a check plus plus. um, see how it all works? It all balances out. So, guys, I'm going to send you lots and lots of love. And uh, would you guys like to do a chat tomorrow? Dog says, I used to say Calibri, they cut their ears off and drop them off in the hallway to listen. I had to disconnect Alexa and scan the house for and cars for bugs. There is currently a tracker on my car. Haha. Thinks I don't know. You should go like to his best friend's house. Don't stir the pot. That's the thing too though, is be careful. You never know. Are they gonna record you? You think you're safe in your house, and even if you just wanted a innocent conversation where you're like, look, I don't know what to do, he keeps yelling at me, and then they're like, oh, you're bitching about me. And you're like, whoa, you know tomorrow will be 45 days. You'll bring cupcakes. Yeah, so I'll be here then. Yes, 45 days. That is a month and a half. Yes, we will have a celebration for you tomorrow, Debbie. Definitely come. I need to give you a candle, a little song and candle coming up pretty soon. We'll do that on your 100 day. You're halfway there almost. Lily says, wow, dog. Dog says, I'm pulling it off at the beach on Saturday, dropping it at the beach, throwing it in the water. Um, there you go. You could do that. I wonder if like you don't want to like attach it to like a chipmunk and have it run all over the place, but that would be kind of funny if it ends up like in Ohio somehow and you're like, what? Um, Kalibi says, have a restful night, everyone. Night, night, all. And lots of love to you. Look at that sparkling heart full of love. So, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Sound okay for you guys? Debbie says, great idea, Dog Defender. Dog Cynthia tomorrow. Trust me, Debbie. Wait for 90 days. Yes. Yes. And they always say, too, there is something about 90 days. Love to all, says Dog. To all a good night. Lily says good night. Yes, 9 o'clock sounds good. Eastern Standard Time. Love you guys. See you soon. Bye.